All right, everyone. Welcome back to another weather update. It's Jack here, and today we're going to be talking about what has happened 2 days ago. The reason why I didn't like make a video yesterday is because I was tracking a severe weather event that's taking place in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana, um, and Tennessee as well. Luckily, there were no long track tornadoes. However, there was some decent there was a decent environment where strong tornadoes happened, and it did. Um, and unfortunately, a lot of homes sustained significant damage in those regions. However, it didn't turn out as historic as we thought it would. Thank God, though. Thank God. But honestly, though, we might see more historic events happen in the future of this year. We're not. This is probably the time where, hey, tornado. The environment is starting to become a lot better now since we're in April, and things are gonna start going downhill soon. So we gotta stay weather aware. We gotta be extra cautious. Stay tuned with your weather news channels and stuff like that. So here's the recap. I'm gonna show you all the supercell that me and my friend chased in St. Louis. That basically it did. Basically, this supercell that went over the city did produce a tornado, which was in Chesterfield, or it was east of Chesterfield, Missouri. Um, luckily it wasn't a significant tornado. It did not last like a long time, I'd say, but it did some minor damage to homes and trees and stuff like that. But could have been a lot worse, honestly. I'm glad it was rated high ND of 0. I'm glad it wasn't rated an E of 2 or 3 or higher. Otherwise, it would have been a very catastrophic event. But thankfully, it's weak. So you can see right here. This is where the rotation was. This was it right there. I'd say that was pretty accurate. Judging by the look, you can see some rising scud there. It was really starting to get its act together. Right around here. This wasn't on the ground at the time. It wasn't on the ground. Forgive me about the lights doing that. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but it was being weird. But I zoomed in closely. You can see that the area of concern right there. It was rotating. Right in that area. So thankfully it didn't like. So we were over here at this like hospital over in like near Chesterfield, and you can see the impressive wall cloud structure on the supercell, which was really cool. You can see the motion on it too. Like you can start to see a little bit of motion on the wall cloud. I wasn't watching the. I looked at the wall cloud because I thought it was a very, very interesting structure. It was so clear. Like the structure was super clear to me. It's one of the most interesting wall clouds I've ever seen. Yeah, this was a very populated area, which unfortunately a lot of people were out at the time too, which was not good either. And there were also reports of people hiding under an overpass in I-70. And let me tell you right now, sorry if I paused it. Let me tell you right now that hiding under an overpass, do not do that. Please don't. It's not a good idea, or never was. So I don't know why people still do it. I think people should seriously watch like how to take shelter properly and not go under overpasses, because those are not safe. They are really not safe. I was pointing at this area right here because it looked to be rotating, but I think it was dying out at the time. So thankfully, I don't think it did kind of got the rotating look to it, a look kind of. But I feel like because we are going like we're driving on the highway, it didn't look really concerning. But all right, so here's the part where I think I know where the tornado occurred. See people behind us. I don't know why. If you're under a tornado warning, this was tornado warned. Right there. Please don't go out driving. Like stay home. Just stay at home. Stay tuned to your weather service. I mean, if you need to go out and do something, it's fine. But just don't go out looking for this. Don't go out. Basically, I'm doing it because I want to learn how to storm chase and come and report storms and help people's lives, safety measurements and stuff like that. That's what I want to do. I don't do it just for fun. I take this very seriously. It was a dangerous storm, so don't want to confuse people who ever think, oh, I'm doing this for fun. But you can see at this scene right here that this was the tornado right there. You can see it right there behind those trees. I'd say that was pretty accurate because we were in Westwood when this occurred, and it was on the ground before it became a confirmed tornado warning. So I'd say that right there was the tornado itself, and I'm gonna pull up the damage assessment toolkit here. Actually, I don't know what's going on. We're gonna talk about the future weather outlooks later, but for now we're gonna take a look at the tornado that occurred in Chesterfield. Alrighty, so okay, so these tornado markings right here indicate our previous tornado outbreak that occurred yesterday. Some of them were rated EF1. I'm seeing a lot of EF1 rated tornadoes, and here's an EF2 rated tornado right in West Virginia. Basically, a rare tornado occurred in this region. Basically, a lot of homes sustained significant damage. A bit of homes sustained significant damage. Thankfully, it wasn't a violent tornado. Otherwise, it would have been very bad. But luckily, everything was fine. They're still trying to rate these tornadoes out here in from the previous outbreak. So, but we're not focused on that. We're going to focus on the tornado that occurred in Chesterfield. And you can see here's the damage path right around here. I'd say this. Oops, we're not going to talk about that. I'd say the damage path right here. So I think we were located. I'd say we were located right here. Like right here is where we were at. I'd say we were on this. Let's see. So I think we were right around here, like right in this area before we made a turn. Unless I could be wrong, we could have been right here earlier, but before we went over here. But honestly, I'll never know. I'll have to see the location later. But you can see that there it is right there. I'd say that looks pretty accurate because if you look at the angle that I recorded back behind me, it was to the right, and you can see the tornado right here was on the right. So this was definitely the tornado that did touch down before it went confirmed. So you can see how the rapid movement on that. So that was definitely a tornado that did touch down in Chesterfield. It looked like, man, downtown. It looked like it went through downtown, like the main corridor of Chesterfield. I don't know where City Hall is, but it's right around here. But it was pretty close to getting hit. Thankfully, it didn't do anything to it. Yeah, it was rated a high ND of 0. Let's see. There's a lot of loss of roof. Oh, here's a 79. Oh, here's an 80. So large like a lot of branches were down. If tree, okay, here we go. Trees uprooted. Let's see the damage, or let's see the. Yeah, this is the tree that came down. So yeah, that was the So that, yeah, this thing did high NDF 0 damage. This little blob right here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I thought it was still on the ground by the looks of it right here, but I think it died before. But I'm pretty sure it was a funnel, but because I kept a close eye on that, like you can see how low that looks. So I think there was a funnel cloud, and then it tried to do it again, but then it failed. And then here's another. So we were in. This is where we're in Clayton. This was it was a confirmed warning. And then it tried to do it again, but this time it would have been rain wrap, but thankfully it didn't do it. So I'm glad that didn't happen. So far 2 tornadoes have touched down the St. Louis region. I saw one. I'm right here in Chesterfield. This is the only St. Louis tornado I saw so far, and this is my first ever tornado encounter in April. The first ever one in April, and I can't wait to see more that will occur this month. Hopefully, if I get my braking pads in, and it's supposed to be soon. It's supposed to be. So I'll be back on the roads here soon. Probably will bring my dad if we do get a severe weather event happening next, probably during the weekend or something like that. It's really interesting seeing that blob right there, even though it just looks crazy. So yeah, this didn't fully condense though, if I'm going to be honest with you. It really didn't fully condense. I don't think it did hit any power. If this thing hit like this, if this tornado hit, if touchdown earlier and hit this region over here, I think we would have seen like power flashes or something like that. We would have saw like power flashes, but we did not. So thankfully, I mean, if I did see power flashes, then this would have been a tornado on the ground. But no, weak tornado. Alrighty, so now that's done and over with. We're gonna talk about the future that's gonna happen with the weather and stuff like that, like severe weather wise, and you know what I mean. Basically, we have 2 slight risk of severe weather. This is from our previous trough that came in. 2 slight risk. It's happening right now, but I'm not too worried. But there was a confirmed tornado that occurred in Virginia. Not where Caden lives, not where he lives. I mean, if it happened where he lived, he would have gotten some footage and posted it, but he didn't get anything. So severe weather should subside now in those regions, including Florida too. That's also going to subside. Here's our day 2 outlook. Nothing much, just TSTMs. I'm not seeing much. Looks like we're going to go be in a little bit of a break for a few days. But for day 4, we have a 15% severe weather threat. To be honest, I am not concerned about this at all, because the problem with the setup is going to be the moisture. Looks to be more of a March 24th repeat in a way of this year, not last year, but this year. Looks to be more of a repeat that I previously saw the funnel cloud in Hammond, Oklahoma back then, or not back then, but it was a week or 2 ago. Looks to be the same setup with the lack of moisture that's going to come in, but this trough is not going to be a very strong, powerful trough that I chased previously. So I don't think we'll see a lot of tornadoes or funnel clouds out of this, but things can easily change though. That's for sure. So yeah, the main concerns are probably going to be damaging winds and large hail. And it also says thunderstorm development will probably take place in Sunday afternoon. A severe threat could develop, but uncertainty is still considerable concerning the timing and position of the front. So the mid-Mississippi Valley could see some storms, but I don't think they're going to be that severe. Day 5, I think that's what they're talking about here. but I don't know if they're gonna issue a 15% for that area, unless Miles uptrend a little bit, but I highly doubt it. Day 6, we have a 15% chance of severe weather on Monday. Basically for Dallas, Fort Worth, basically in the Red River Valley. This is fun fact. This is also the day of the solar eclipse too. So a solar eclipse is going to take place, and a severe weather event is going to take place. So this is going to be a weird day for whoever's going to go into Texas and stuff like that. I don't know if it's excuse me. I don't know if it's a good area to go after the solar eclipse at, but according to for me in Missouri and Illinois, there's going to be less cloud cover, which is great news. I will definitely will see the solar eclipse on April 8th. It's going to be pretty exciting. This is probably once in a lifetime event here, because we will not be able to see another solar eclipse until August of 2044 and 2045. So honestly, by the time we see those solar eclipses happen, I'm probably gonna live my life already, so I'm not too worried about that. So thank God. Probably will be like 39, 40 years old when that occurs. But the concerning part about 2044 is gonna be up here in the Dakotas. It's gonna be a long drive if I do manage to get one myself. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any like slight risk for day 7 through 8, but something to keep an eye out for day 4 and 6 and 5 maybe while we transition to next week. Alrighty, so here's our severe weather environment, or this is our reflectivity here. We got some snow happening in Indiana, Ohio, the places that previously saw tornadoes and severe weather, which is crazy. It's kind of crazy how their temperature flip-flopped like that, but it's spring, so things are gonna be crazy. By Saturday and probably this is where our severe weather threat's going to take place, right here in Kansas and Oklahoma and Nebraska. Looks like a decent trough though. It looks pretty kind of similar to the one I chased though, but this time it's angled wrong. It's not like the powerful trough that I chased previously, but it is what it is. And here's our next severe weather setup for the mid-Mississippi Valley, right around this corridor. And then this trough just weakens out, and here's Monday, the solar eclipse day. Looks like clearing is happening right here, which is good news. And then later on it just rains, so I think the chances of me seeing a solar eclipse is possible. And everything's going to be nice and dry on the west coast, it looks like. And a lot of uncertainty still remains. I don't know much about this trough right here or that trough right there. It's very uncertain. Sometimes once we get closer, these troughs like this can really organize once we get closer and produce something very big. So we got to keep an eye out on these troughs. Let's see if this upcoming trough is going to be negatively tilted, positively tilted, or anything. Let's see. So we got ourselves this trough right here. Looks to be positively tilted. Not seeing much, but look at those winds though. Look at those freaking winds. I'm not seeing much that can really define a tornado. Like, I'm not screaming negatively tilted trough. Like this trough right here looks to be positively tilted, right around this corridor here. Not really much of a severe weather maker, if I'm going to be honest, but if this was more negatively tilted, I think we would have seen something very, very nasty in the Great Plains region. But it's not. I don't think it's not May yet, so it is not May. The May is when the Great Plains over here wake up, and it can really cause some problems. So we're not in May yet. So I think that's going to change though. That's going to definitely change. And here's our ridging happening, and the uncertainty still remains. Alrighty. Supercell composites. Let's check on that. Usually it shows like if what are the chances of a supercell occurring in one of those regions. Here's the setup for Saturday. That's not a bad supercell composite. It's in the 6. Let's check the hodograph. Pretty decent hodograph, if I'm going to be honest. We got a possible torque tag on this. The dew point and the temperature are questionable right now. However, if the cap were to break, if there's more sun out and the cap breaks, it's going to bring in a severe weather. It's going to bring in some supercell. The shear is pretty decent. 3 cape is all right, not the best. So something to keep an eye out. And then here's our next severe weather setup. That's going to be in the mid-Mississippi Valley right here. It doesn't look much is happening. In my opinion, I don't see much for that region. Like supercell composites are in the 1s. It's not looking too favorable, but I could see a marginal risk get issued for day 5 on Sunday. So I could see that happening. But this is 5 days out. Things can easily change. And here is Monday's. This is the solar eclipse on Monday. We got supercell composites rising at 12. It looks like 12 to 1 o'clock where the solar eclipse is going to take place. Let's check the hodographs here. This is something very okay. Honestly, there is a marginal tornado threat right around here, but I think we have a capping issue here. Might have some sort of cap right around here. The 3 cape is pretty high. Oh my goodness. The shear, the SRH is meh. The shear is all right. I mean, there is some shear, but I don't think it's gonna cause some problems. So, and then later after the solar eclipse, this rises. Like this is weird to me because you don't usually see like supercell composites during a solar eclipse, but it is what it is, and the uncertainty still remains. And you got this interesting setup right here on April 17th in Arkansas. Pretty decent environment. I'm going to keep an eye out on that day. I'm going to keep an eye out. That's actually, we should keep an eye out on these models in general because this is spring. This is spring, and things can seriously change. Like right here in Missouri, I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah, something to keep an eye out. Like, look at this. This is what you see in April. We could see photographs like this. We got shear pretty decent, 3K pretty decent. You can see our temperature dew points. So right now, very uncertain, and things can easily change. Anything can really happen at this point. Like this is all models reading far out, and this gives you an example onto what can really happen. So yeah, gotta keep an eye out on in the next 2 weeks. So all right, that's gonna wrap it up for me. I'm probably gonna get ready for something tomorrow. I gotta go to school and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.